Hello and welcome to this week's episode of The Shooting Show. On this week's episode we're going to be joining Warwickshire Wild Game for an early season roebuck stalk, and then we'll be joining Jonathan McGee and Gareth Evans as they hope to drop some pigeons over some spring rape.
Get on. Go on, get on. Good morning, chaps. My name's Graham from Evans in Flight. We're out there this morning in North Yorkshire. We're protecting a rather large field of rape at the moment, which you will see later on through the film. It's been decimated by the pigeons. Just sort that, make sure I've got everything there. Right, trees, pigeons, that. They're nice and lightweight. Just pop them in the ground, it'll be great. Yeah, man, I've had some fantastic days here, especially on the late crops. I'm going to put the enforcer decoys out, and I'm going to put the flapper out first, because at the present time I always tend to put not the minimum out, but sometimes you can tend to put out too much, and the pigeons sometimes this time of the year they're really finicky. So if I put the enforcer decoys out, the enforcer floaters, and the FF6, which is the flapper, that I will see how it goes on first. If it's working, fantastic, you know, we know we've got it right. If it doesn't work and the birds are staying further out and they want to see more movement, I'll then put the magnet out. 15 years ago I used to swear by dead birds. That's all I would use, would be dead birds. Now fortunately I've got a good stock of these in the freezer. You don't need to use decoys all the time. These are fantastic, but if you're lugging 30 or 40 dead pigeons about, they can weigh a bit, whereas 20 of the enforcers are fine. Now as I throw these out, I can guarantee you Millie is going to pick one up. Aren't you? So come on you, let's get out here. I'm a good old Yorkshire bloke. I'm down to earth, and I'll just say it the way it is. And I just like to explain to people that, you know, pigeon shooting isn't all about killing a bird. With Evans in Flight, the main thing is, it's, as you can see, crop protection. We've got this rape here, which you can see is absolutely bitten down to the bone. Millie! Told you she'd take one. Come on, here. It's plastic. Here. Hey, dead. Stop, sit, stay there and listen. And as I say, the main thing with this crop is you can see it's just been nipped away, and a lot of people just don't realise how much it's costing the farmer, because you know they are eating hundreds of thousands of pounds worth of food stuff. This is rape, and what it's costing the economy. And the only proven way to keep the pigeons under control is shooting them. Now we all know that the GL licence, we've done it, we've been out there, the farmers have been out, they've done everything humanly possible, scarecrows, bangers, everything that we can do to keep the pigeons off before going out and shooting. I mean, I've been running around the fields flapping my arms to try and keep the pigeons off. But the only way to successfully keep the birds off is to control them by shooting. Like we're discussing this morning, a lot of the pigeons this time of year, they're feeding on clover, on the grassland. Now, me personally, if a pigeon is feeding on clover and feeding on some grassland, I would leave them alone, because my thought is that if they're feeding on clover and the grassland, they're not on here. Countless times I have farmers saying, you need to come out, Graham, I've got 2,000 pigeons at the front of my house and they're all over the place. And when I ask the question, what are they feeding on? And they'll say, oh, they're just on the grass. And I'll just say, they're feeding on the clover. That's just it. They're picking the clover up. So long as they're picking the clover up, they're not touching your crops. So basically, I don't need to come out. I don't need to get out there and do the job. Stop at that. Oh, because my knees are hurting. Oh, God. We need to bring the pigeons into the area that we feel comfortable and safe of shooting them, basically. And I will always say to anybody, if you are shooting pigeons, it's not how good a shot you are, it's how your field craft is. And the main thing with pigeons throughout the year, all they're looking for is movement. Now, I have adapted some of these birds, which you'll see. That is just a normal enforcer decoy. I've invested in these little springers, which are fantastic. You can see, if you just point it to that one there, that is how they are normally, the half shells. They're on the springs, and the lightest of breeze will work. Now, I've thought, put these out, but they're just static. But when you can put them out on a little bit of a springer, right, once that gets going in the wind, it works wonders. You know, we always have the sentry birds up and the feeding birds going down. But I just like to say that movement is the best thing for getting pigeons coming into your decoys. It works. You know, a pigeon can see you or I from half a mile away, even a mile away sometimes. But if they see that one little white flash, that's the thing that will bring them in. You can have your run. I'll let you run about. Right. Oops, it is it. I'm actually going to use a J shape today. The way that the birds hopefully are going to fly is they'll fly between this wood over here and this wood. With the wind not being as strong as it has, my J shape is going to go like this. Top of the J will be up there with a gap in the middle, because I want to try and funnel the birds into where I feel comfortable shooting them, and that, you know, if we can get them to come in. Now over there you've 10 decoys, the rest of them will be down here. I will put a float, an enforcer floater out in a minute as well. And it's I just try to get the birds to come where I want them. But the thing in the morning, as you get there, wherever the birds are feeding, if you can get there, fantastic. Get to the spot they're feeding. Banger's working fine over there. We've all been out pigeon shooting, and we know that sometimes you hear one bang and they get up. If the birds are feeding over that area and the bangers is going off, it will lift them up. And I've said previously, the bird is looking for movement. So if they go up from that area and they want to head back here, touch wood, they're going to see the movement and they're going to be pulled to our pattern here. That you'll actually find with these decoys, when you do get them new, they actually come under here, they're black. And I noticed on 2 or 3 of the outings when I had them straight off that the black really wasn't looking natural. So all I did, went to a cheap pound shop, just bought some grey primer paint and, you know, just blasted them over a couple of times underneath. And the thing now is that pigeon, it's got that grey colour underneath it. It's not the dark colour. And it does seem to work, and it looks more natural. Well, it does to me anyway. Hopefully it will do to the pigeon. I think we'll be right with the amount of decoys we've got there. You can have 3 or 4 poles on there to get them higher, etc. But I find with 2 poles like that, on a windy day today, you will just get that lovely, natural, bouncing action of a pigeon coming into land. And as you can see, with those 2 bits that I've put under there, keeps the wings out, because normally it would be up like that. And that, from a distance for a pigeon, is one of the best things that they can see. The one, I'll be honest, the game changer that I've found throughout the years for pigeon shooting at the moment, yes, the decoys are fantastic, the enforcers and the floaters, but this piece of kit, the FF6 from Nick Tate, it's an absolute game changer. Nick's been doing the business for a good few years. It's progressed from, I suppose, the FF1 now up to the FF6. But these automated pigeon flappers on a timer, it's just a simple piece of kit. And once I set it up, you'll see it just works wonders. They work off a normal battery. I tend to camo my batteries sometimes, but I found that if I do that too much, I lose them. The trick with these, as you can see, you need to break the actual, it's this bone of the pigeon. Sometimes it's hard, but if you click it there and click it again, that then gives it the amount of movement. Spike goes through the head there, right into there. Another trick that you'll actually see, if anybody does any carp fishing, it's the little carp bands that you get for the bait pellets. I normally would put one on there and wrap it around, then there's no chance of this thing coming off. But I think we'll be okay. Flare the tail out, because you want to replicate a bird coming into land. Now, as you can see, that is hopefully how it's going to work. There we go. Leave it to you, him. Just tidy up a bit. Millie, get on. Oh, that's not far for you, Millie. Come on, in here. In, Millie. Here, come on. Good girl. I get a lot of people come out that just haven't got the time to go out and do a recce and find out where the pigeons are actually doing the damage. I mean, I'll always, if I get somebody coming out the day before, I will always go out prior to them coming out to find out where the birds are, find where they're feeding, and make sure that A, they're not going to come out and, you know, have a blank day, or at least not see the pigeons. So I need to go out and look for the pigeons, find out where they are, because a lot of people think, oh, you're a pigeon guide. You turn up, you tell them where to shoot, you take the money and you go. It doesn't work that way. I mean, there's a lot of people out there that have done that, but yeah, I've been going now for 3-4 years and just built a reputation on being honest with people, basically. And if it works, no, wrong sort of pigeon. If it works, fantastic. You know, we can have a good day. A long way is that? It's going to be out a long way is that? Unless it's no. It's a buzzard.
The buzzard trying to get our pigeons.
Yeah. The way it was flying up, I thought it was a red kite first.
Well, he
off.
went for the bird there, didn't he?
Yeah, he went for the. Oh, he'll go for the flapper. It's just it. Come back in again. Did that one? Millie, get on. Go on, get on. You've gone through the wrong net, dog. Come on. Good girl. Not bad for 11 months old, is she? Come on, girl, in here.
Very good.
Come on, in here. Good girl. I've had all the footage you'd have wanted by now.
Yeah.
It's, Back! Good girl! That's it! Come on, here. Good girl. Come on. Good girl. Here. Here. Dead, dead. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. I'd say we're just about 12:30 now. I always class pigeon shooting the same as being on holiday. You'll get it first thing in the morning, you'll go out, you'll have a fantastic breakfast, and then what do? You go sit by the pool for a few hours, and that's exactly what the pigeons are doing at the moment. They've been out, they've had the breakfast, they've had a good fill up on the farmer's rape, and they're actually sat in the trees at the moment just digesting it. So hopefully they're going to want to, you know, you're on a holiday, you sit by the pool, you have a few drinks, then you think about 3 o'clock, oh, it's time to have some lunch or something. So touch wood, these birds should be back out again and feeding. I mean, we've had a couple so far. Jonathan's shot most of them. But, you know, hopefully the birds will come back out. Ooh. That's it. Watch where it goes. Millie? Hey, hey, go on, get on. That's it, good girl, good girl. Good girl. Come on. Good girl. Good girl. Not a woody. It's a rock dove. Yeah.
You're the wrong type of pigeon.
Yeah. You're the wrong type of pigeon. Good girl. Millie, come on. All right, how about it may come back. That bird's going to drop now. Come on then. Here. Here. Good girl. Good girl. I've got one of these gun stands, but I don't know where I put the bloody thing. And it's been a belting day. Weather's been really kind to us, which is good. No snow, no rain, not bad company. Right, there we are, chaps. That's the finish of the day now. We're on about 4 o'clock. We've been out here, we've had a good day. We've got a couple of dozen pigeons really. We've done the job. We've kept them off this field, which, as I say, they have been hitting a lot. With the back end of January, and I say a couple of dozen pigeons is not bad really. And if you need to get in touch with me, just get in touch with Evans in Flight and we'll get you onto some good pigeon shooting. Stay safe, chaps. Hey-ho. Fun and games, that's that.
Graham and Jonathan making a dent in the pigeon numbers there. Now we join Stuart Eborall and Leon Davies as they head out to try and find the perfect ingredient for their venison firecracker burgers.
Hi, I'm Stuart Eborall from Warwickshire Wild Game.
And I'm Leon Challis-Davies.
Welcome to the Shooting Show. 1st of April this morning, on a block of ground where I know I've got a couple of bucks. I haven't seen them close up yet, I've seen them a good distance. One's a young buck, body-wise he doesn't look particularly great, and the other one, I was only looking at him from a good distance, but his antlers, he was clean already, which is odd for around here, and he looked like he could be a murder buck on one side. So we're going to try and find them this morning and see if we can get into a position where we get a shot of them.
Brilliant.
I haven't made a call on if we're going to shoot both or one of them, but when we get a bit closer we'll make that call. Bit wet, bit miserable. It's going to make it tricky. chances of them being out feeding in this are slim. They're more likely to be in the woods, but we'll have a good go and see what we can find. Hedge that leads down, and you can see at the bottom there's another hedge that cuts left-handed, and then the field behind that is a hedge that leads away. Halfway up there, I'm picking up a heat signature. I just found it in the binos, saw Rose arse, but I can't tell you if it's a buck or a doe, so we'll just cut down here, have a look over the lakes, and then we'll drop down into there and see. We'll have good wind. We'll drop down and see what's down there. Deer on that top edge. I just don't move. Wait if they come to us. Just no movement now. See yet, but the one on the right hand side looks like a murder buck, so instead of having points he's just got one single spike. But let's just keep really still now. So then when I say, mate, you're going to pick the left hand leg of those sticks up and rotate on the right hand side, okay? Mm-hmm. Just wait. Me Ollie, me and you are going to stay still. Okay, we can't move. And when you get on it, Leon, up the front leg, just behind the shoulder, okay?
Okay.
Right, go for it. That's it. That's it. Keep going. Right, just keep going, mate. Just keep going. Leon, just keep going. Keep going, mate. Keep going. Keep going. Wow.
Mate, to get that close though,
Doesn't get.
it doesn't get any closer, does it?
That was-
Unless you're feeding them.
That's close quarters. That is. The thing is, they'd come over the brow. We were completely exposed here. There was no way of us backing up or getting back into cover.
Yeah.
It was just a case. I mean, until those pheasants broke from this little pond behind us, we were fine.
Yeah.
The wind's in our face. We managed to make Ollie stand still. But
Well, I mean, just
yeah. Joys of stalking.
there you were.
Oh, you can't win every time. At least it's a nice day.
It was a cracking day.
Yeah.
I tell you what though, burger after this,
Yeah, definitely. And
ideal.
Good job it's a spicy one as well, because I need warming up.
Yeah. I've got the adrenaline in me as well. You know, I was really just trying to calm down from that. Really gutted, but pheasants.
They did us.
Unbelievable.
They did us.
Unbelievable.
Oh. That is stalking.
So Stuart, we weren't successful. I think you said it. That's stalking. So
I mean, we were foiled a bit. We got into them. Unfortunately, the way they came, they weren't presenting a safe shot. So we just had to sort of play statues for a minute and let them come across us, and to the point where they were safe. And you just had to move the sticks. A simple task. Just pick the stick up, rotate it, and we'd have been perfect. Unfortunately,
they got stuck.
you got stuck on some bramble, and the noise from the bramble bumped some pheasants. Deer looked straight at us. Party was over. But it was a good chance. Good chance for me as well. We got within 50, 60 yards of those deer. I could really assess them. I know now when I come back that the older one with the 3-pointer, he needs to come out. The young one, I'll probably leave him and see how he comes on. So, although we haven't shot anything, we've learned something.
But you're really meticulous at Warwickshire Wild Game on sort of really understanding your quarry, where you are, and what you're doing, and that whole process of.
Doesn't that smell good?
It's amazing, absolutely amazing. Today's what we're doing. We're going to be making burgers. When I've got the deer, we bought some stuff. We'll make the burgers. But Stu is down at the Stalking Show a couple of weeks' time, and he'll be cooking his firecracker burgers. So that's what we got today, and very straightforward. You're mincing venison.
Yeah, so we put it through the mincer once, and then use a company called Westenfelder, who we buy all our game mixes from. We do a firecracker, which is this one, which is slightly spicy. We do a garlic and herb, and then we do a sort of organic seasoning one as well, which is quite nice. I think we'll probably just take the firecracker and the garlic and herb to to the Stalking Show, just to make life easier for ourselves more than anything. You're not putting cheese on that burger.
Oh,
Hey, come on, chef.
Hey, get involved.
Yeah.
We need it on there. Yeah, look at that. Oh, Stu, I'm looking forward to this. Bit of breakfast.
Cheers, mate.
And you can find Warwickshire Wild Game at the Staffordshire County Showground this weekend. Sadly, that's all we've got time for on this week's episode of The Shooting Show. If you've liked what you've watched, make sure you like and subscribe, and if you're not a member of Basque, now's the time to join. My name's Chris Castle, and this has been The Shooting Show.
If you aren't a member of Basque, it's time to join now. Basque, looking after your sport, looking after you.